Yo, what is going on, everyone in the crypto space? As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about why Bitcoin is dying. I decided to talk about this because Brad Garlinghouse had a recent interview where he discussed an interesting statistic that I will share with you later in the video. So first off, I want to say if you're invested in Bitcoin, I am not hating on you in any sense. If you're invested in any other cryptocurrency, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm hating on you. I mean, if you invest in Bitcoin, honestly, that's great. I do think Bitcoin will go up in the future. I do think it will, but in my opinion, just my opinion, I don't know for sure. Just in my opinion, I don't think it's going to last. If you're holding Bitcoin, you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you're about to go in the comments. I mean, you might as well stop it here because it's like, I don't know for sure. All I'm doing is giving you my opinion, but feel free if you want to argue with me on it. Go ahead and hit me in the comment section below. But before we get into why Bitcoin's dying and why Ripple is thriving, XRP just got the new official logo, now recognized by CoinMarketCap. And this actually is official, by the way, because if you go to XRP, the topology network, which shows the data on the Ripple software, you can see that you're using the new XRP logo at the top left corner. And the vote was official as of yesterday. And now this is the new logo for XRP, and this is to help separate XRP from Ripple because a lot of people use them interchangeably, including myself, and it can help beginners really help them mentally separate Ripple from Bitcoin. Ripple being the private company and XRP being the public ledger with a digital asset. So let's get into it. Also, what I wanted to say about this whole rebranding with XRP getting a new logo, just keep in mind there could be a rebrand pump. Not 100% sure because usually good news doesn't affect Ripple. Or see, this is why we need the new logo, because I just said Ripple when I really meant XRP. So good news never really affects XRP. So I mean, but who knows, this rebrand pump, it could happen. I know with Nano, they were first Riblox, and then it got switched over to Nano, and they jumped about 30%. So that could happen with XRP, could not. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're in for the long haul. So now I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin's dying. I'm really just starting to realize this today, why I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I give Bitcoin maybe another year and a half before it loses that #1 spot, because it is seriously not meeting with today's standards. First thing, long transaction times. In Brad Garlinghouse's interview where he talked about Bitcoin, he stated that transaction can take up to 45 minutes. Honestly, that's just Brad being nice. My transaction today from Ledger Nano S, so the Ledger affiliate program, they do pay out in Bitcoin. Literally, not even kidding, the transaction was initiated at 6:35 a.m. and did not finish until 2:30 p.m. That is basically 8 hours on waiting for a transaction. It's like banks are faster than that. This is getting kind of ridiculous now. And plus, the market isn't even, I mean, Bitcoin's not suffering from a ton of volume and a lack of scalability. Like, there's not even that much volume going into Bitcoin compared to the all-time high. So the fact that there's an 8-hour transaction when the volume isn't even that high, could you imagine if we get back to all-time high on Bitcoin, how long transactions are going to take? I remember when we were at the all-time high, I had people saying in the chat their Bitcoin transaction took literally 23 hours, almost a full day. Ridiculous. And same thing, up to $40 fees. This Razer keyboard actually that I had, because of the Bitcoin $40 fees, and I was on BitPay, transferred my Bitcoin to an Amazon wallet, I lost 40 bucks and therefore had to get a refurbished Razer keyboard, and now my H key doesn't work. And you think I'm kidding just to prove my point? I mean, no, literally, like, the H key's done. So because of Bitcoin, I'm stuck with a refurbished Razer keyboard that just lost the H key. Do you know how important that is for titles? I've been having to copy and paste words for titles. This is what Bitcoin's doing to us, guys. This is what Bitcoin's doing to us. So aside from that, Brad Garlinghouse also stated in the interview, CEO of Ripple, he said this with great confidence, saying 50% of Bitcoin is controlled by 4 miners in China. 4 miners control 50% of Bitcoin, and yet they call Ripple centralized. Also, other proof-of-work projects are starting to suffer from 51% attacks. However, these are lower proof-of-work projects. If enough mining pools got together and wanted to do a 51% double spend attack on Bitcoin, it would be very well possible, because I think the top 5 mining pools control 51% hash power of Bitcoin, and they could do a double spend attack and harm Bitcoin. Honestly, guys, the thing with cryptocurrency, I think proof-of-work is coming to an end. It has so many different issues with it that it's just not fulfilling today's needs of the Internet of Value in transferring payments. I mean, just for a perfect example, I had to wait 8 hours for a Bitcoin transaction to clear, which I then did purchase XRP with. But It's just proof of work. It has so many issues with it: lack of scalability, block times, fees. Essentially, what I don't like about proof of work is actually centralized. Well, the reason people call Ripple and XRP centralized is because Ripple holds a lot of XRP, even though it's an escrow contracts. But with proof of work, essentially, if you have a lot of hash power, you get the most control over the network. Whoever has the most hash power has the most control over the network. The Ripple ledger does not work that way, and that's why it is actually decentralized. So honestly, proof of work is seriously coming to an end. Also, not to mention, Steam and Microsoft both dropped Bitcoin as payment. And also, Brad Garlinghouse made another point saying, what government wants to use a coin controlled by China, and also a coin that has a negative connotation to it that could affect their business model and people losing money on transactions by using Bitcoin. It's just not a... Really, all Bitcoin has, guys, all Bitcoin has, Bitcoin's only real utility right now is not for transactions, is not for sending money. Bitcoin's only real utility is for buying altcoins. That's Bitcoin's only utility. If Bitcoin lost that, there would be, whether you invested in it or not, you would have to agree in saying, if Bitcoin did not have the altcoin market on its coattails, it would just not be surviving. And I mean, in the sense of, let's say you're on an exchange and this exchange doesn't have cannabis coin, but Bittrex has cannabis coins. What you do is you take your whatever crypto, send it to Bittrex, transfer it into Bitcoin, and then buy cannabis coin. Because the only way you're going to buy cannabis coin is through Bitcoin and not through a fiat pairing, because it's not that big of a currency. So really, altcoin trading is the real only utility Bitcoin has. And if that's the only utility Bitcoin can get to, then I find that as a serious problem, because the only way you're going to buy altcoins through Bitcoin, if Bitcoin lost that and now altcoins are starting to be trading through XRP or Ethereum, I mean, Bitcoin's seriously dead. Bitcoin has such little utility. It's ridiculous, and the only utility they have is buying altcoins. So that's all the reasons why I think Bitcoin's dying. It's probably not going to stay in the #1 spot longer than a year. I just don't see that happening. There are too many flaws with it. But guys, don't get me wrong. Bitcoin is a great technology. It's, not great technology. It was a great technology back in its time. It's still today a great philosophy against centralized powers and centralized banking. For example, my bank is blocking my crypto transactions, which is irritating. But Bitcoin, it's a great philosophy behind it. Whether you hate Bitcoin or not, Bitcoin, there's a great philosophy behind it. Getting rid of a centralized power, having complete anonymity, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, you get anonymous transactions, essentially. But I mean, it was a good technology for its time. Great philosophy behind it. Great community behind it. But I mean, now it's not fulfilling the needs for transferring value today. I mean, I would say Bitcoin, there's a lot of analogies for it, but I would put Bitcoin as the first iPhone. When the first iPhone came out, great technology. It was music, talking on the phone, texting, and a web browser all in one device. It was a great technology for its time. But now, 10 years later, do you still see people using the first iPhone? No, people have moved on to later iPhones, which is a better technology, which is fulfilling today's needs. And remember, guys, with the way technology is moving in the world in general, the more we're moving into the digital age, instant gratification is becoming more and more important through today's society. I mean, especially kids my age growing up on phones, getting something instantly, tapping a button on your phone and having someone come pick you up in 7 minutes through Uber, or getting 1-day shipping on Amazon, or if you go through Uber Eats, you get your food in 20 minutes right after you click that button, or when you're ordering from a website, you love to get that confirmation right away that you actually got an order. Instant gratification is going to be huge. And with more and more people wanting things instantly and as fast as possible, do you think 8-hour transactions are going to cut it? Or do you think 4-second transactions are going to cut it? Exactly. So, now we get into why Ripple is thriving. They're signing more than one bank per week. They signed 20 production contracts in the first quarter. XRapid is being brought to the market in the next couple of months, and nodes are still switching to the 1.0.0 network. 4-second transactions, like I said, 4-second transactions at literally $0.0004 at the cost of the transaction. That's absolutely insane. You're not going to find any of those transaction costs with anything else. By the way, Brad Garlinghouse also did state major banks. He has every confidence that major banks will be using XRapid this year. Not to mention American Express has been using Xcurrent. Santander, half of all their cross-border payments go through Xcurrent. And then both those companies can take that step and go into XRapid. There's a ton of unnamed partners we don't know about, a ton of unnamed XRapid and XCurrent trials we don't know about, things going on behind the scenes. By the way, there's been many successful trials that we have gone that we've been released, that we've seen over the last couple of months. Every single company that trials Ripple, they're always saying it's positive. The last bull run from 20 cents to $3.30, that was sparked because of the Japanese and Korean trial, the testing of Ripple, and they said it went successful and it went great and they want to use it in the future. That is why, that's what sparked that last bull run. So the fact that we're now taking it one step further, and now Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of the company, knows things we don't know, is saying he has every confidence that major banks will be using XRapid this year. That is why I just bought $400 worth of XRP today. It's just, there's so many great things going on, so much information that confirms the use of it in the future. The 20 production contracts in Q1, not to mention all the production contracts that have been signed in Q2 that we don't even know about yet, or the other partners that are planning to use XRapid that we don't know about and have not publicly stated it due to NDAs. Guys, major banks using XRapid this year, it can't get any better than that. This price is just based off of whales hunting stop losses and trying to get a low price. Seriously, take advantage of this price, please. Last thing, guys, why Ripple is thriving. They're targeting quite a bit. They're targeting a few different markets. They're targeting cross-border payments, domestic payments, microtransactions through the web, essentially through Coil monetizing content creators, derivatives contracts, and smart contracts between two businesses or two parties. They're targeting 5 different markets all at once, and the currency will be used in bank flows by the end of the year, stated by both Miguel Villas and Brad Garlinghouse. Guys, seriously, buy as much XRP as you can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, check links in the description if you want to get yourself legendary ads or some merchandise. If you're looking for some merchandise with the new XRP logo, go ahead and click on the link in the description, cryptomerchandise.net, hit Ripple, go to new Ripple merch, and there's the all new Ripple merch with the new logo on it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Seriously, guys, Bitcoin dying, Ripple thriving. See you guys in the next one.